Welcome to part 1 of our series whereby we're going to be speaking on health and nutrition. Now we have different types of diet. We have a plant-based diet. What are plant-based diets? Is a person that only eats plant-based foods, that does not eat meat, and they eat plant-based foods and no dairy products. Secondly, we have a lacto-vegetarian diet. What is a lacto-vegetarian diet? A lacto-vegetarian diet, it's a person that does not eat meat, but they eat dairy products and other foods as well. And then thirdly, we have a pescatarian. What is a pescatarian? A pescatarian is a person that only eats seafoods but does not eat other types of meat. Pescatarians as well also eat dairy products such as eggs, milk, cheese, and other dairy products. And then fourthly, we have meat eaters, which are people that eat meat, dairy products, and also other different kinds of foods. Now, which of these diets is the best diet? Out of a plant-based diet, a lacto-vegetarian diet, a pescatarian diet, or a meat-eating person? The best diet out of all of these diets is a plant-based diet. Vegans. Now, when I say vegans, I'm not speaking about the vegans that don't eat honey and that don't wear lilies. A plant-based diet person is a person that eats healthy plant-based foods that is available at that point in time. Now, let us move on to the biblical evidence. In the book of Genesis chapter 1, when God created Adam, he gave him a plant-based diet. Bear in mind, Adam was very wise. He named all the animals and God never changed even one name. But when it came to choosing diet, God saw it fit in his wisdom to choose the diet for Adam. And God chose a plant-based diet, which is the ideal diet for human beings. The Bible says in the book of Genesis chapter 1, reading in verse number 29, it says, "And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat." So we see that the original diet God created for mankind was a plant-based diet. And then when sin came into the picture, he started adding vegetables as well. But the ideal diet is a plant-based diet. That's the ideal diet. When was man permitted to eat meat? Man was permitted to eat meat after the flood in the times of Noah. God also allowed man to eat meat in order to shorten their lives. So man cannot live very long. This was done out of the goodness of God, because God is not in the business of sinful mankind living for a very long time period. Let us get the statistics from the Bible. Now, when you compare the life expectancy, the average range of how long the people lived from the time of Adam to the time of Noah, Genesis chapter 5, you find that the average of how long man lived was an average of 912 years. This is the average you calculate from the time of Adam to the time of Noah. Now, from Noah's time, moving forward, after God allowed them to eat meat, the life expectancy or the average lifespan dropped. If you compare from the time of Shem to the time of Abraham, now from the time of Shem is after the time God allowed them to eat meat. When meat came into the process, the lifespan man started living, or the average lifespan, dropped to 326 years. This is calculating the people from Shem going to Abraham. So from the biblical evidence, we see that when God allowed men to eat meat, the life range dropped from 912 to 326. What this proves to us is that when God allowed men to eat meat, the life expectancy dropped. Now, my friends, let's go back to the original diet, which is the plant-based diet that God had invented for mankind to eat. God is our creator. He knows what is best for us to eat. The same is with the motor vehicle company. They decide whether the vehicle will run on petrol or on diesel. You put diesel in a vehicle it's supposed to run on petrol, it's going to hurt the vehicle. I also want to read a quotation for you from one of my most favorite authors in the book Counsels to the Church, page 228, paragraph 2. Speaking of God, it says, "And he permitted that long-lived race to eat animal food to shorten their sinful lives. Soon after the flood, the race began to rapidly decrease in size and in the length of years." My appeal, my friends, is that let us go back to the plant-based diet that God had invented for mankind. And of course, it should be done gradually, step by step. Don't forget to share this message and feel free to comment because I'd love to hear your comments as well.